What if I told you there's a single verse in the Bible, written over 2,000 years ago, that describes exactly what the world looks like right now? Wars in the Middle East, earthquakes, famine, pandemics, division so deep that families are torn apart over politics. 2,000 years ago, one verse, written by a man in a cave on a remote island. And here's the part that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Scholars, historians, and theologians have been quietly debating whether this generation, your generation, is the one the Bible was warning about. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to look at the world very differently. Let's be honest for a second. The world feels off, doesn't it? In the last 5 years alone, we've had a global pandemic that killed millions. We've had wars break out in Europe and the Middle East simultaneously. We've had record-breaking earthquakes, wildfires burning entire cities, floods in places that never flooded before. And if you're anything like the millions of people who started Googling things like, is this the end times? Or what does the Bible say about the apocalypse? You're not alone. Google Trends actually confirmed it. Searches for End of the World Bible spiked by over 300% in 2020. And they haven't really come back down. People are scared. People are searching for answers. And maybe, just maybe, the answers were already written down a long time ago. So today, we're going to look at one specific passage, one of the most studied, most debated, and honestly, most chilling verses in all of Scripture. We're talking about Matthew 24, verses 6 through 8. And when I read it to you, I want you to count in your head how many of these things are happening right now in 2024. Okay, here it is. Matthew 24, verses 6 to 8. Jesus is speaking to his disciples on the Mount of Olives. They ask him, "What will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" And Jesus answers, "You will hear wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains." Let that sink in for a second. Wars and rumors of wars. Russia and Ukraine. Israel and Gaza. China and Taiwan tensions. North Korea missile launches. Pick up any newspaper, any, and you will find a war or the threat of one. Nation rising against nation. And I'm not just talking about military conflict. The word Jesus used in the original Greek is ethnos against ethnos, meaning ethnic group against ethnic group. Sound familiar? Because the racial and cultural tensions we're seeing across America and the world right now fit that description remarkably well. Famines, right now. According to United Nations World Food Program, over 345 million people are facing acute food insecurity. That number doubled between 2020 and 2022. Doubled in 2 years. Earthquakes in various places. Here's where it gets wild. The USGS, the United States Geological Survey, tracks global earthquake activity. And what they found is that the number of significant earthquakes, magnitude 6.0 and above, has been increasing in frequency over the last 2 decades. Now, is this just coincidence? Is this just normal history happening? Or is this, as Jesus called it, the beginning of birth pains? Here's what makes this verse even more interesting from a historical standpoint. The book of Revelation, written by the Apostle John around 95 AD, expands on what Jesus said in Matthew 24. Revelation talks about 7 seals being opened, each one representing a stage of the end times. The first 4 seals, the famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. White horse, conquest and false peace. Red horse, war. Black horse, economic collapse and famine. Pale horse, death and disease. Historians call these metaphors. Theologians call them prophecy. But here's the thing, whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in the Bible literally or symbolically, you have to admit that the pattern is striking that COVID-19 followed a global rise in nationalism and political conquest of institutions. Then came the wars. Then came inflation and global food shortages. I'm not saying the apocalypse is next week. I'm saying the pattern is there. Written 2,000 years ago. Now here's the twist that most people miss. And honestly, It changed the way I think about all of this. Every single generation, and I mean every single one, for the last 2,000 years has believed that they were living in the end times. The Black Death in the 1300s killed 1/3 of Europe. People were convinced, this is it, the end is here. World War I, World War II, the Cuban Missile Crisis, when the world was literally 13 days away from nuclear war. People were reading Revelation and seeing themselves on every page. And yet, here we are. So maybe Jesus knew something about human psychology too. Maybe the point of these signs wasn't to give us a calendar. Maybe the point was to give us a compass. Because here's what Matthew 24 actually says 3 verses later, verse 36. But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Jesus literally says, nobody knows when it's happening. Not even M.SO if someone on YouTube is selling you a course called The Exact Date of the Apocalypse. Maybe skip that one. But here's the emotional truth, and this is where I want you to sit with me for a second. The reason billions of people find comfort in these passages, even the scary ones, is because the message underneath the prophecy isn't be terrified. It's be ready. Ready to live a life of meaning. Ready to hold your family closer. Ready to not waste whatever time you have, whether that's 50 years or 50 days. That's a message that transcends religion. That's just wisdom. Okay, so let's bring this home with something actually useful. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or somewhere in the middle, here are 3 things that historians, theologians, and even psychologists agree on when it comes to end times thinking and how to process it. Number 1, context is everything. Every passage in the Bible was written in a specific historical moment, to a specific audience, in a specific cultural language. Matthew 24 was written at a time when Roman persecution of Christians was at its peak. John wrote Revelation on the island of Patmos as a political prisoner. Understanding that context doesn't make the text less powerful. It makes it more powerful. Number 2, the purpose of apocalyptic literature is to inspire action, not paralysis. This is what scholars call prophetic urgency. The goal of books like Daniel, Ezekiel, and Revelation was never to make you hide under your bed. It was to say, the world is broken, do something, be something, stand for something. Number 3, your mental and spiritual health matters when consuming this content. This is something I feel strongly about, and you might not expect me to say this in a video about the apocalypse. But doomsday content, whether it's biblical, political, or scientific, can trigger real anxiety. If you find yourself spiraling, take a breath. You're not called to carry the weight of the world. You're called to carry your part of it. And here's a bonus thought. One of the most respected biblical scholars of the 20th century, C.S. Lewis, said something that I think about a lot. He said the question isn't when the end is coming. The question is, are you the kind of person you want to be when it does? That question applies whether you believe in the rapture or not. So here's where we land. Matthew 24, Revelation, the signs that Jesus described 2,000 years ago. Wars, ethnic conflict, famine, earthquakes in various places. Are we living in the end times? Maybe, probably not. But the signs are closer to that description than any generation in recent history has been willing to admit. And the one verse that started all of this, Matthew 24 verse 8, calls these things the beginning of birth pains. Birth pains, not death, birth. Even in its darkest prophecy, the Bible uses an image of something new being born. Make of that what you will. But I'll leave you with this question, and I genuinely want you to think about it. If you found out today that you had 5 years left, not you personally, but the world, what would you do differently starting tomorrow? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video made you think, even just a little bit differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Not to scare them, to wake them up. Because that's what this verse was always meant to do. I'll see you in the next one.